Hello and welcome. I was taking a second there to figure out the sound. The music was kind of messed up. My levels were messed up. But let me know if it sounds too loud or not loud enough. I don't know. But it is the music from Haunted Chocolatier, an upcoming video game by Concerned Ape, the GOAT of game developers. But yeah. Ilta, everybody, welcome in. Good to have you here again for another episode of Learn Finnish with me. As always, if you enjoy these live streams, please consider supporting me on Patreon or here on YouTube memberships if you like the live chat features. Though Patreon is better if you just want to support me. I'm also in the process of trying to figure out how to update my Patreon, because there's a lot of old stuff there that I kind of want to remove. There's a lot of old cringy stuff that I'm just maybe, and not just because it's cringy, but when you kind of feel like you need a fresh slate. Not that I'm actually embarrassed, but I kind of just want a clean slate, I guess, to start. Because it has been on my mind of actually doing more with the Patreon and maybe being more public with a lot of the creative work that I'm doing, especially the video game development stuff that's still been going on in the background. But I've been careful not to make it such a public focus, because it can put pressure. But anyways, that's all. I haven't announced anything for that, but I just thought I would mention it since I don't know. I ramble with you guys. That's what this live stream is good for. All right. If you show up to this nonsense, then you get a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff as a bonus, though honestly, I think it's pretty boring. But yeah, okay, music is at suitably low level. All right, thank you, JS and Poyu, appreciate it. And Lorelei, welcome in, good to see you. Yeah, today, I'm gonna try something a little different. I've been thinking about the streams, and I'm actually going to try streaming for only 1 hour. I feel like sometimes the 2 hours is a bit too long. Maybe I'm just not enjoying it as much. I also feel like maybe I'm dragging it out. Not that I'm intentionally doing that, but I kind of just feel like maybe 1 hour would be better to try. So that's what we're going to do today. So if anybody shows up late, and they're like, why is he not live? Then that'll be why. So I'll plan to end around 8 o'clock Finnish time. But it is still fun, just to hang out with you guys. Practice some Finnish. But yeah. Try to keep the Finnish and rambling at a suitable level. I am a master of the balance. All right. That is why... That is what I'm good at. I don't know. That's just... I have balanced practicing Finnish and rambling about nothing more than any other human. I mean, I've got this is episode 133 of me doing just that. I am quite literally the expert on that subject. You might not agree. You might think the balance has not been achieved, but I'm the expert. So, that's just how it is sometimes. But yeah. Yeah, the Selko Utiset topics aren't that happy, as is usual, so we'll see. We might not read all of them. I might just kind of focus on a few of the sentences, and yeah. But yeah, another thing in the background, I've mentioned this before, I do really want to train specifically for the National Language Exam, the UKI exam, the YKI. I guess that's how we would say it in English. But yeah, I feel like I need to do more specific training for that. But I'll also be honest, the time and motivation for working on my Finnish hasn't been there. I don't blame myself. I don't feel like, oh, I'm just procrastinating. But because there are a lot of things kind of happening that I need to take care of. Like my upcoming residence permit renewal. But and there's actually a lot that is going into that. But yeah, so we'll see. I do actually want to take the exam to get, because yeah, to eventually get citizenship. That, and also, I mean, I do want to actually understand what Finnish people are saying. And be able to kind of converse on a very basic level, rather than just being a Selko Uutiset reader, right? Like that's one aspect of it. There's nothing wrong with studying Finnish through the easy news in Finnish, but there's other like functions of the language, other competencies I should train that I think would be good for me in the long run. But yeah. 55 minutes of a Tolkien rant and 5 minutes of learning Finnish. Well, now that you've mentioned Tolkien in the chat, I'll just take that as my opportunity to give you the update on all Tolkien related things. No, but I am planning to listen to the Lord of the Rings audiobook sometime after the Helsinki Marathon. Yeah, in less than 2 weeks, I'm running the Helsinki Marathon. And so also I'll just say, if you wanted to see me in person or cheer me on, you could show up to the marathon and you'll see me running. So, that's fine. Don't follow me home, okay? That's but I'll say that if you wanted to come say hi, that's fine. Like, it wouldn't weird me out. It would surprise me, but I would be cool with it. But also, don't worry. Watch the week after the marathon. I get on here and I'm like, nobody came to say hi to me. No, it's okay. I'm actually really excited because I have had probably the most productive training block for running that I've ever had. Like I've always been more of a casual but consistent runner. But this past summer, I've been more strategic in my training, and I'm noticing some really good results. And I feel like I'm more fit specifically for the marathon than maybe I've ever been. So there's a good chance I could run a personal best. And maybe if everything goes well and I actually have the fitness, I could run a sub 3-hour marathon, which would be a huge achievement for me. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. But yeah. Hey, I haven't even given a Tolkien lecture yet. Though occasionally I still check the Tales of the Shire reviews just to see what people are saying. It is interesting how much people are leaving reviews about, like, for the game, but for reasons that aren't really about the game. Especially a lot of the positive reviews. A lot of people seem to be really upset that the game received negative reviews from major outlets like IGN. And they're like, it was a bad faith review. And I'm like, what's bad faith about it? Like, the review is based on the reviewer's experience playing the game. There's nothing deceptive about that. Why? But it's like, people just don't like it. They're like, and so, but I don't know. So people are like wanting to support something that they think was wronged, but it kind of clouds the judgment of the reviews. It's like, why can't we just talk about the game? Why does it have to be like all the haters? I'm leaving a positive review because haters are douchebags. And like, all right, well, I mean, I haven't played the game. I haven't left a negative review. But I'm not gonna buy the game, not for like 30, or I would have to buy the Switch version for like 40 euros. I'm like, yeah, no, it's definitely not worth that. Yeah. You're not gonna be in Helsinki until next summer, 27? JS, I can promise I won't come. That's funny. I like that. It will definitely be weirder for me than for you, because I don't know what you guys look like, so you might see me and be like, oh, that's Tyler. But then, like, for me, it would be the first time I would place a face with your name, your screen name. That would be pretty, I'm not judgmental, so don't worry. Like, but There's something almost exciting, like it's Christmas, you know? It's like a good kind of surprise where I'm like opening a gift or something. I'm like, oh, so you're the person. Oh, okay. But yeah. Why did Bilbo Baggins live for so long? Because old hobbits die hard. I like that one. 27. That is a dad joke I want to keep in my back pocket. You know when people are like, tell me a joke. People just ask, tell me a joke. And like if someone did that, I would not think of a joke. I wouldn't be able to think of one. But that one, that's a good one. Why did Bilbo Baggins live for so long? People are like, oh, because he had the one ring. And you're like, no, because old hobbits die hard. They die free. They live free or die trying. But yeah. IGN's Alien Isolation review has been considered actually harming the game. I don't know about Alien Isolation. I don't think I've heard about it, so I haven't seen any of the reviews. So about the Finnish, Lorelei says, since you're planning to bail. Look, it's crazy how fast time goes by. But yeah, but JS, if you'd be able to take part in the marathon, you might say hi when passing me, meaning like you would be running faster than me, but you would start behind, you know, or you would anticipate that I'm gonna crash and not finish strong, so you're gonna just run past me. Is that how it goes? Hey Maria, how are you? Oh yeah, thanks for dropping in and saying hi. Hope you have a good evening as well. Good to see you. I can't remember. I think maybe I saw you in the Stardew streams. There's a lot of, I've noticed a lot of new people from playing Stardew, which is really cool. It's such a fun game and such a cool community of like people online who all enjoy this game together. It's not like that for most games. I mean, there are online communities, but Stardew I think is really really special. Okay, let's do some Finnish before all the time disappears. We got to make sure we save some time for ranting and rambling in between the Finnish sentences. Okay, so first of all, Ukrainan rauha. Does this, wait, hold on. I think I'm okay. This means peace, but I doubted it because it had Ukraine, because I'm like, they aren't at peace. But I mean, you know, context, I know from the news that they're not this image. This happened a while ago, but yeah, Trump is planning to go to Alaska to meet with Putin to talk about a peace deal with concerning Ukraine, right? So yeah, Ukrainian peace. Koulupalo. This is a school fire, like the school building caught on fire. Is it really bad? Okay, I'm gonna say in my defense, when I was like a really little kid, I genuinely thought if the school caught on fire, it would be the best thing. But first of all, I didn't have any like real awareness of how much damage a fire could do, or like how dangerous, like people could actually die. But there was some part of me that felt like, oh, we wouldn't have to go to school, which also wouldn't really be true. Like they would probably make other arrangements or accommodations for us to keep studying, you know? But I was like, yeah, it was like a thing as kids to kind of like hope that the school would like get hit by a tornado or something and you wouldn't have to go to school. But not while we were there, obviously. Not while you're actually at school. It has to happen like over the weekend or something. But yeah. Rauha is a Finnish feminine name meaning peace. Thank you, 27. I didn't know it was actually a name as well. I don't think I've ever met a Finnish person named Rauha, but maybe I have and I just don't remember. That's probably what the kids who set it on fire thought as well. Oh yeah. I remember there was one kid, I never did anything crazy like that, you know, but I remember there was one kid who would take aluminum foil and he would wrap it into like a little hook, and then he would push it into the outlet, like the power outlet in the wall. And then I don't know how he did this without dying, first of all, but somehow he would do this and the aluminum would just go insane. It would like catch on fire. And he got in a lot of trouble for that. But there would be like electricity arcs and bolts. And yeah, he got in trouble for that. He was a crazy kid. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there were times I got in trouble and adults were like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know why I did it. I'm just a little kid. Like, why are you asking me to talk like I'm an adult all of a sudden? Like, shouldn't where were you? Shouldn't you be supervising me? You know, what were you doing? Don't get angry at me. It seems like this is more of a you problem, your failure as an adult." But yeah, what I don't know what this is, but rahat means like money. Koto tumis. Koto. What? I have no idea. Koto tumis rahat. And then weather. Well, let's actually translate it here. Oops. Integration funds. Oh, I should pay attention to that. I could use some of that. It's about time I got some funding for my integration into Finland, instead of it all being 100% on me to figure out with no help, no support. I shouldn't say no help. You guys are here helping me, so. But yeah. Oh, Rauha is an old name. Okay. This may be why I haven't come across it. Ensin uutinen Ukrainasta. Ukrainalle tämä viikko on tärkeä. So first piece of news is about Ukraine. This week is important for Ukraine, right? USA:n ja Venäjän presidentit tapaavat perjantaina Alaskassa. I think I said this earlier. The US and okay, it's Russian, but for half a second, my brain wanted to say Venetian. Yeah, the Venetian president, the Doge is meeting. No, yeah, the Russian president, the presidents, they are meeting on Friday in Alaska. I've been to Alaska once. It was a really cool place. He keskustelevat siitä, miten Ukrainaan saadaan rauha. They are discussing how, is it like how? Okay, I was confused for a second. I was thinking of this as like the war, sota, which then can become sodan. But actually, this is like how peace can be gotten in Ukraine, right? Let's translate it. Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Oh. Oh wait, I shouldn't read the English. Hold on. I was like already reading something down here. Ukraina ja EU sanovat, että myös Ukrainaan pitää olla mukana tapaamisessa. So Ukraine and the EU say that also Ukraine should be included in the discussions, right? Tapaamisessa. Rauhasta ei voi sopia ilman Ukrainaa. That like basically peace. Okay, my literal translation is like peace cannot be suitable without Ukraine. But I feel like there's a better way to say this. Like there can't be peace without Ukraine involved. Yeah. Okay, maybe agreed was the word I needed. I think was it Sopia or Sopiva? Something like that. Yeah. Voisopia. For some reason, I think this is like to be suitable. Or negotiated is another good one. Thank you, Lorelai. Myös sotilasliitto Naton pääsihteeri Mark Rutte. I don't even know how to pronounce that in English. Mark Rutte. Probably, yeah. We'd probably say Mark Rutte. Or I'm sure someone says it on the news, and I don't know. Sano, että Ukrainan on päästävä mukaan kokoukseen. Also, the Soldier Alliance, NATO, the military alliance, is that what that is? The head secretary? What is the... But I thought the guy who was in charge of NATO had a different name. Is this a different position? Like maybe this is the spokesperson. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see it here in a second. But this Mark Rutte says that Ukrainan on päästävä mukaan kokoukseen. I always forget what päästä means, but something about along with the meeting or something. Ukraine should be included in the meeting, right? NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte also says that Ukraine must be allowed to attend the meeting. Ukrainalle pitää myös luvata apua, jos Venäjä hyökkää sinne uudestaan. But yeah, okay, JS. Sopia also means to fit and be suitable. So I was right with my translation, but not the best translation in the context. But yeah, 27. Thank you. Yeah, Secretary General or General Secretary. Yeah, but for some reason it's Secretary General. But wait, hold on. Yeah, Ukraine also needs permission. Does this mean permission to help? Oh wait, hold on. No. Not Ukraine doesn't need the permission, but it's like there also needs permission to help Ukraine if Russia attacks it again. Maybe it's not permission, but I don't know. Let's see. Ukraine must also be promised help. Because I'm thinking of lupa. But in this case, luvata just means to promise. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the if is kind of depressing. Not if, but when. Yeah. It does feel like the news got a lot worse this year. Like, I mean, I'm kind of used to having a certain level of negativity in the news, but holy crap. 2025 has just been like a lot. Oh yeah, the asustelupa. Is that the residence permit? Is that 27 what that means? Hollolassa paloi koulu. I guess this is a place I've never heard of. Hollola. It sounds like a Finnish place. Although the H, it's actually, it's rare in Finnish to see an H alone at like before a vowel like that. Typically, like if it was ohlola or something like that, where the H is before like a consonant after a vowel, That's more Finnish to me. But yeah, so something the Poloi. Does this mean that a school burned in Holola? No, maybe I'm not translating this right. No, Holola. Okay, it is alright. It is a school burned down in Holola. It's literally it's the back. You have to read it backwards. A school burned down in Holola. And asus de lupa is accessory, as in a clothing permit. But okay, Lorelai, asumis lupa is that the residence permit then? I guess we could also look here. Oleskelulupa. Oleskeluluvan lupa. Seuraava uutinen isosta tulipalosta koulussa. Next piece of news is about a large fire at a school. Did I get that right? Yeah, a big fire at the school. Or a school. Hololassa oli eilen iso tulipalo, jossa tuhoutui koulu. So yeah, in Holola, there was yesterday a large fire. What's the difference between a tulipalo and just a palo? Or a tuli? Because tuli means fire, and palo means fire. A tulipalo, is that like a extra big fire? A fire? Yeah, which destroyed a school. I think that's what that word means. Yeah, there was a big fire in Holola yesterday destroying a school. So okay, so actually over here we saw it earlier. I didn't realize it because I was focusing on this, but yeah. Yeah, you don't think asumislupa is a proper term for anything. If any, it might relate to asumisoikeusasunto. Tuli is just the flaming thing. Okay. What would we call that? Like, is that in English? Would that be called like the tongue of a fire? What would that? I don't know what to call it. I think it's called a tongue. But yeah, the tulipalo is the harmful kind where some house or something burns. Okay. It's we have another word like a conflagration. But I don't think it would be the same. I don't know. It sounds bigger and more official. Yeah, just fire. English is just lacking. Hey, we've got so many words, all right? If anything, we have an overabundance of words in the English language. Especially when you watch these like spelling bees. What does it say about a language that the spelling, first of all, that there is a spelling bee championship? Like, you don't have that in Finland because apparently it's too easy to spell all the words in this language. If you can speak the language and pronounce the words, you can spell them, whereas in English, that's not true, right? Like, good luck, right? And then what does it say? That most of these words, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Even the kids who are spelling the words, they don't know. That's why they ask for the definition. They're like, what is that? It's like watching a Scrabble tournament, and they're like, when did they introduce, like, I don't know, Indonesian words into the English language or something? Like, what? But anyways. Yeah. What does it say if you have a spelling bee? It just says that, you know what? We were so good at English, I don't know how many hundreds of years ago, when spelling conventions were standardized, all right? We did it first, all right? Finnish, you guys didn't standardize your stuff till much later. So, yeah, you have the benefit of your language more closely resembling the written form, but I mean, how cool is that? Really cool? That's like just being a baby. We're the big kids. English, we're the big kids, and you Finnish people are the little babies. Go back to Michael Agricola, okay, and have him, you know, mix up your letters a little bit. And then you can graduate to the big boy table. No, I don't know why there's no animosity, all right? I know why I'm going on. But anyways, okay, what was it? The koulussa ei ollut ihmisiä, koska oli sunnuntai. So there were no people in the school because it was a Sunday. Tulipalo oli ehkä tahallaan sytytetty, eli tuhotyö. What? The big fire was perhaps... I don't know. It was... So basically, it's like something happened about it. Like maybe it was set off by somebody, or in other words, Ellie. Does this mean like it was arson? Like it was an intentional act? Because this means like työ means like work. And tuho, I don't know. It sounds bad. Tuho is the same kind of like this, right? So if it was tuhotyö, then it was destructive work. An intentional act of destruction. Poliisi tutkii tulipaloa tuhotyönä. The police are investigating the fire as an act of destruction or arson, right? Yeah. The fire may have been started intentionally as an act of vandalism. The police are investigating the fire as an act of vandalism. Vandalism. I mean, yeah, we would just call it arson. We have like a specific word for it. Vandalism sounds a lot less bad. Like if you burn down a building, that's way worse than like, oh, you spray painted the wall or something. You tagged the wall with your spray paint, you know. Yeah. The whole idea of the spelling bees is absurd from the Finnish perspective. But that was another thing I learned when I was teaching English in Finland. Finnish kids, or at least the ones I was teaching, have a better chance of remembering how to spell English words because they can pronounce the word the way it's written, as if it was a Finnish word. They like that's how they would practice the spelling. When I would do like we would do little quizzes and they'd have to like, you know, do the spellings and the whatever, what is it, the definitions and like sentence completions. And they would remember how to spell it because they would just pronounce the word with a Finnish accent. And I was like, hey, that's like cheating. I couldn't do that when I was growing up. I just had to say it in my southern drawl, you know? But yeah. Tuho poltto. Okay, so yeah. So tuhotyö is kind of any kind of sort of, yeah, vandalism or destructive act to a piece of property. But like tuho poltto is specifically arson. Yeah. Early Proto-Finnic is from several thousand years ago. Middle is from a couple thousand years. Late Proto-Finnic from a bit later. It's old. It is crazy. Like, it is crazy to think like that there was a time when there were no humans on Earth. This is my look. I'm gonna keep the rant short, but isn't it crazy? It's so tempting when you're just living your day-to-day life, almost as if like the history of the universe is as mysterious or as like any sort of religious ideology. You know, not even like religious, but any sort of superstitious kind of beliefs about the origins of the earth and whatever that are, you know, but now we actually do know from like science that no, actually like things evolved on Earth. There was a time when there were no humans, but but even weirder, there were mammals that we would descend from. Like that's crazy to think about. And imagine if you could just time travel a million years ago, sit around with a bunch of hominids. I don't even know if you would call them Homo sapiens at that point, but hominid creatures. Like what would their life look like? What would, just living out on the savannah a million years ago. It'd be crazy. But yeah, anyways, well, I like to think about that. But like, because for sure, like people were around then, or some version of our ancestors were around then, right? That's crazy. It blows my mind. I would think that's not just like we're reading the Silmarillion and the histories and sunderings of the elves, which is also freaking cool, and I also wish was true. But what is it like? The truth is stranger than fiction, right? Yeah. Pyromani is an arsonist. That's funny, Poyu. That looks very similar to another word in English, pyromaniac. But a pyromaniac might be someone who commits arson, but not necessarily. They're in it just for the fire, not for the destruction, right? So there's someone, a kid who likes to play with fireworks, who's wants to build fires in their backyard or something. I don't know. There was a time as a kid when I was sort of obsessed with that. Not actually like building real fires, like unsupervised or anything, but like because I was in Boy Scouts, I loved the process of building a fire. Like that was the coolest thing you could possibly do. For some reason, in my 11-year-old brain, I was like, I just want to be the fire guy. I just want to build the coolest campfires, And we learned to start the fires with like flint and steel. We had these like little flint and steel fire starter kits, and yeah, that was pretty fun. Anyways, I haven't built a fire in so long. Tulipalo Oli. Wait, did I translate this? Yeah. They are investigating it as an act of vandalism. Tulipalo oli isossa salpakankaan koulukeskuksessa. Oh, Finnish does me so dirty with this, with the K and the S and the K and the K and the S and then a no. But it's basically like what? In the school center? Keskuksessa. Tulipalo oli isossa salpakankaan koulukeskuksessa, jossa on useita rakennuksia. So like the fire was, I don't know what this is, but it's like, but anyways, well, it was in a large school center, or was it in the center of the school? In the large center of the school? I don't know. Maybe of this is the name of the school probably, right? Or is it just saying that the school is large? Okay, which is a new building. Let tulipalo tuhosi kokonaan pienen kankaan koulun. The fire destroyed all small something about the small. Are there like different school buildings or campuses or something? Like this other school got totally destroyed. Like there's a smaller school that got destroyed. Kankaan koulussa opiskeli noin 80 oppilasta. So yeah, this in the school. In the school, around 80 students studied, right? Okay, well let's translate. Yeah, if it's capitalized, it's likely a place name. Yeah, JS, thank you for that. That's I was picking up on that. But yeah. Oh, not new. Many. Oh, okay, yeah. New is uusia. Useita means many. That is good to remember. I get that confused. That's not the first time I've messed that up. But yeah, the fire was in the large Salpakanka school complex, which has several buildings. The fire completely destroyed the small Kangas school. The Kanga school had about 80 students. Palokunta onnistui pelastamaan ison Salpakankaan koulun, joka oli Kankaan koulun vieressä. The palokunta. Is this like a fire nation? Kunta. Doesn't kunta mean like a nation or a municipality? The fire municipality. Is it like the firefighters? Or what are they called? The fire department? Onistui. Celebrated. Why do I think it means to celebrate? Like onnea. That's obviously not that in the context. Yeah, they celebrated because they were like, finally a fire happened and we get to go put it out. Do you think that's how firefighters think? But anyway, yeah, and then pelastamaan, they got to play. The firefighters celebrated about playing in the big Salpakangas school. There you go. The firefighters were happy that they put the fire. I'm imagining an AI generated video where the firefighters are like celebrating in the ashes of the school. Yeah, I don't know why it would have to be AI generated. It's so nonsensical that only an AI would do something that silly. Joka oli Kankaan koulun vieressä, which was next to the Kangas school. The fire department, I was right, they managed to save the large Salpakanka school, which was next to Kangas school. There we go. But yeah. So it does not mean that on its own, but combined with Palo, for example, it means fire brigade, otherwise not a nation. And yeah, pelasta means to save, not pelata, to play. Yeah, so I'll admit, I knew it wasn't to play, not just because of the context, but yeah. I mean, I was just riffing because I didn't know what it meant. I couldn't remember. To save. Yeah, it is funny. Google manages the Kangas for Kankan, but not for this, for Salpakankan. It doesn't get that this is Salpakangas, right? It's weird. Anyways, Hollolassa oli eilen iso tulipallo, jossa tuhoutui Kankaan koulu. Yesterday there was a big fire in Hollola, which destroyed the Kangas school. All right. So we have about 15 minutes, so I don't know if we'll finish this last bit, but let's take a look at it at least. It involves the government, so I'm sure it's not going to be great right now. But yeah. Tulipallo is a fireball, literally. Pura lopettaisi kotoutumisrahan. Yeah, this sounds like something the government would do, right? That pura or Purra. I can't pronounce the double R, but I tried. That's the name of the minister. Lopetaisi. Is this past tense or conditional or something? But it's something to do with ending. Some type of funding for kototumis. I mean, they're stopping funding for almost everything. So anything that you like about society, the conservative government is like, screw that. All right, we're not paying for nothing anymore. No. Yeah. Oh, Pearl would end the integration benefits. Oh wow, great. So happy to hear that. It's so stupid because they are also the same assholes who are saying that immigrants need to integrate more. But then they're like, but also we're not going to pay for it. Like, we're not going to help. Right? But just, you know, if you're an immigrant, just magically figure out how to integrate without any help or any integration services. Like, you know, what at least if you're going to propose stricter requirements, like make a plan for people to achieve it. It's just so toxic, right? Anyways, I've already complained about this in previous streams, and it doesn't even make sense because, you know, the people who are proposing this are also like, just, you know, what is the word for this? Like there's like an implicit racism to it as well, because they're like, we only want high income earners, you know, from the countries that we like. But then all the rules that they create don't even encourage those people. It's like, you know, the people who are going to learn to speak Finnish are the people who are like working the jobs that require them to speak Finnish, not those high income earners coming to Finland, you know. Anyways, whatever. I don't like to get political on the live stream, but this pisses me off because it's like, I'm an immigrant. I almost said the F word there. That's how intense I feel about it. Especially now that my residence permit needs to be renewed, and I actually might get kicked out of Finland, right? Like I might be forced to leave Finland, and it's like, man, I really tried to live my life here. And it's just like such crap. Yeah. Yeah, the right-wing parties. A shame. But I was talking with a friend because I was like, well, not that it's any better in my home country, you know. Imagine if not only I had my they didn't renew my residence permit, but that they also deported me to a maximum security prison somewhere. They just shipped me off to El Salvador. Like, man, it's like it's terrible in the US right now. Of course it's worse in the US. But that doesn't mean it's okay what's going on here, all right? Anyways, let's try to read a little bit before we sign off. Lopuksi uutinen. I can't say this for some reason. Kotoutumisrahasta, joka on tärkeä tuki maahanmuuttajille. So the last piece of news is about the integration funds or funding, which is important. Tuki. Why do I want to say it's like research, but it's not. Tutki is like research or some tutkimus. But anyway, something for immigrants, right? Oh, support. It's an important support for immigrants. Oh, okay. Yeah, just rip it out. Make life harder. And then when problems get worse, just keep blaming the immigrants, you know, and just say, and then hide behind completely like pointless arguments of like, it's just cultural differences. We have incompatible cultures, so that nobody from that part of the world can ever move here. Incompatible. It's odd, and it's the most ignorant people who know nothing about cultures. They know nothing about world culture or anything, but they're experts on how cultures are incompatible. I'm like, shut the up. You know, like, just the fact that people like that are making decisions just, man, makes me want to throw an egg at somebody, you know? I'm ready to throw an egg in a very democratic and well, maybe not respectful, but in a passionate display of nonviolence. You know what? I propose a new holiday where we as citizens get to throw fruit at all of our politicians, and we parade them. We parade you through the street, and we all get to throw a fruit at you. All right. And I'd be fine. The fruit can also be regulated, right? Like the fruit. So it's like, you can't just bring your own fruit to throw, because people might put like rocks. Like, look, I'm all for regulating it. Okay. So that people can only throw the pre-approved fruit that would be given out by, I don't know, volunteers or the police, you know? It honestly would be such a celebration. And also, honestly, I think it would let us like move forward with life. I'm not saying I'm in favor of like fights, but like there's a certain amount of energy that you get out when you have a conflict, and then you're like, yes, okay, well, you know what? Okay, I threw a tomato in your face and it exploded beautifully, and I'm not as upset anymore. All right, and we can go back to our lives. You can go back to ruining the country with your conservative policies, but at least I got a little something out of it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Oh man. It's a joke, bud. This is a joke. This is satire. Immigration officials, if you're watching this is satire. Yeah, they don't want you here either, but we do. Lorelai, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah. Oh yeah, tukea, to support. Tuki is the noun, support. You get support when you are supported. Yeah, it's also the same methodology with the unemployed, cutting from services and such, as if that would make everybody go to work. Well, and like, it's just, yeah, it's like, it's such a strange situation as an American, because there's like, whatever bad is happening here is just on steroids in America, where like Donald Trump now is like he's calling in all the, I don't know, he's like trying to take over DC to evict all the homeless people. It's so stupid. And all because one of his staffers got like robbed and like carjacked or something like this, which is terrible. Like, yeah, it's awful. But like the response is disproportionate. It's like, one of your staffers got hurt, like, follow the legal process and find the person who did it. But just because homeless people are around, that doesn't mean they did it. They're not responsible for that. Like, come on. It's so stupid. It's so typical. And yeah, it's very frustrating, but yeah. The selected fruit being a durian. I like that, JS. That, you know what, honestly, JS, this would be a great way to raise tax money. All right, if we need to balance the budget over here, people can pay for the fruit that they get to throw at the politician we would make billions. Okay, think about it. It's like, and you could have multiple fruits, right? You could throw multiple fruits, like, pretty impressive. It would be it's like a carnival with all the that we could set it up as a carnival. Instead of parading the politicians through the streets, we could have them set up like in those water tanks, where they sit on the bench or whatever, and then you hit the target and it triggers the bench to collapse and they fall in the water. Except instead of hitting the target, you just hit them in the face. The Swedish speaking people show up with the surstrumming. Dude, honestly, like, I think that's what we need as a nation to unite ourselves. Okay, we need some just good old-fashioned carnival fun, and right and left can bond together. All right, and I'm not, and also, like, nobody should get actually hurt. Even if you throw the fruit with all the passion in your heart, there need to be some safeguards. Okay, I'm all for peace. And but also, man, it would feel so freaking good. There needs to be, we need more holidays like that. Okay, I am gonna run for political office when I'm eligible, when I get my citizenship, and this is the one policy. And also, I volunteer as tribute to be one of the politicians that gets skedaddled by everybody. Like, I would be up there and you could pelt me as well. That would be my sacrifice for the nation. I would do it if somehow I could get the legislation to pass. If I could also somehow get Parliament to agree to this. I don't know. Where were we? Well, actually, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock. We're done. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, the support is important for immigrants. So yeah. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it. I hope I can continue living in Finland. I'm doing everything in my power to make that happen. But, it does suck when you feel like your existence, it is existential in a way. Kind of depends on a black box of what the immigration authorities decide, so it's tough, but yeah, who knows, maybe I'll keep streaming. I'll stream from some undisclosed location in America. Watch it happen. That, what if I don't get my residence permit renewed? It's all sad, but then, like, I go back and something incredible happens. Like, I'm just like so despondent. I go to a gas station and purchase a lottery ticket. The first time, I've never purchased any. I've never gambled, I don't think, ever in my life. And so I would go and purchase this lottery ticket because I'm like, my life is over. Boom, I'm an instant millionaire. I win the jackpot. And then I'm like, thank you, Finland, for being such an unwelcoming country. This never would have happened without all of the terrible people making decisions that led to my departure. Unfortunate. But now I am a quadrillionaire here in America. I've purchased an amazing property in the Rocky Mountains, the most beautiful region anywhere on Earth. And yeah, see you later. Suck it, Finland. Yeah. Oh, and guess what? You're not, all the taxes you would like to collect from the winnings that I have, you're not getting it. All right. I'm not, yeah, you weren't there for me. So why should I be there for you? All right. When times were hard for me, you weren't there. When times are good, oh, sorry, I'm not able to contribute to the failing, system. In my dreams, right? But yeah. Yeah, the stream went by so fast, but honestly, I'm glad we tried this, and we might. I'm not saying this is for sure going to be the way it is going forward, but at least right this week, I really felt like doing just an hour. It made it a lot easier for me to start the stream, and I just feel better about it. I don't know how to explain that. I feel a little better. But yeah, yeah, the disproportionate responses are. That's a current trend. But yeah. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Lorelei, JS, Poyu, 27, and Helion. Thank you. Good to see you. But yeah. Oh, next year, JS. Oh, the board game Tuesdays. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'll see you on other days as well, you know, when I do my gaming streams if you drop by. But yeah, Lorelei, you want me to keep rambling for an hour now? Is that it? Yeah. In the worst case, just move to Haparanta. But yeah, very much disagreeing with many decisions made by the current powers at be. Wait, but Haparanta? I don't know why. What is that? What does that mean? You expect me to be fluent then? Yeah, that's the other thing is like, you know, I do actually want to learn Finnish well and to integrate, but it is tough when you don't have support, you know, and there aren't other contributing factors in my life that encourage or enable it. You know, it's not like, you know, I haven't found success in terms of, you know, marriage, right? If you marry into a family, then there's more opportunity and motivation. It is harder in my case. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but just the way things played out for me, it's just been a different equation, I guess. But Haparanta is the Swedish town right across the river from Finland. Yeah. Oh, that would just be the ultimate slap in the face to Finland. Imagine I leave Finland, but then I get asylum in Sweden. And I get there and I'm like, oh, and I just start a new vlog channel, and I just talk about how Sweden is the best and how Finland just sucked. That would be my vengeance. All right. No, I don't know. I can only imagine doing that. In real life, I'd probably be too, I don't know. I'm too nuanced. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person with like black and white kind of thinking. But yeah. Anyways, well, thank you guys for joining the stream. And I will be back with a Stardew stream. If not tomorrow, then on Thursday. I do my gaming streams. It's having a lot of, actually, we're having a lot of fun, by the way. We are in the middle of a super summer. Sun's out, buns out, baby. This is how much I'm enjoying the Stardew stream. I'm making PowerPoint presentations for it, or well, Google Slide presentations, right? We've got goals for what we want to do in the game. We are researching the birthdays. I even now have check mark boxes dedicated to when we've completed birthdays. Dude, you know, this itches a certain part of your ADHD brain. Okay, so come on by the stream and hang out. Anyways, okay, guys. Have a good rest of your week if I don't see you at the gaming stream. And yeah, hope to see you in next week's Tuesday stream. Same time, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. I'll be back. Okay, guys. Goodbye.